Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Ella. Today, I'm going to be talking about finding your hobbies in your 20s, or just in general, finding your hobbies as an adult, because it's difficult, and I feel like, I know I did, and I feel like most people I got to a point in my adulthood, or like when I was trying to be an adult and just learn to like balance everything, work, friendships, I realized that I lost all of my hobbies. I didn't have any hobbies. If someone was to ask me, what do you like to do for fun? Like, what are your hobbies? I'd be like, give me about 10 minutes to come up with an answer because I really didn't know. Like, I didn't do anything other than hang out with friends, go out at night, sleep, just watch stuff. Like I wasn't actually doing my hobbies or like the things that made me happy or that I was passionate about or anything like that. And so it took me a few months of, you know, retrying my old hobbies, finding new hobbies, really like searching inside and seeing what I care about, what I like doing, what makes me happy, what makes me feel purposeful and, more like myself. And I found that I love having hobbies. Hobbies are so essential to you as a person. And also I feel like just productivity too, because if you have an idea that like being productive is working and doing all these adult things, you're gonna get burnt out. I got burnt out. Like, it's not, you have to make sure that you're taking time for yourself to do what you like, what you care about. Whether it's things that, distract you for a little bit from your adult life or just your life in general. Like, I feel like that is the purpose of hobbies to, how do I word this? I don't know. Like, still being, oh my God, I can't find my words. Still being productive while doing things that serve you and your higher self and you as a person that are not related to work or not related to, anything stressful. Like reading, going into your own world and, what, or writing, like creating your own world. I love writing and reading. Like, and those are two things that I really fell out of as I got older. Because I didn't have time. I feel like I lost a lot of my creativity. Reading got really hard for me with my attention, and I think just not reading for years. Like, you you lose that skill, I think I would say. But yeah, those are just two examples, but I'm gonna get into the whole video. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm also gonna talk about like my hobbies that I enjoy doing, but then hobbies that I really want to try and would love to pursue and start doing. I feel like I should do a transition right now because I'm gonna stop the video just to like collect myself. Okay, so first I'm gonna start out with my hobbies that I currently do. Even if it's not a lot, but I still would consider like my hobbies. I have it written down. So if I'm like looking over here, that is why. Um, Also, I'm getting off track. Also, I cut my hair. I don't know. I I filmed a video of me cutting my hair short, but I wasn't super into the video. I wasn't in a great mood. I haven't actually watched it back to see if I'm gonna actually post it. So, I figured if I don't post it, I might as well say like, I cut my hair. Okay, now for the actual video. My hobbies. So, first off, as you've probably seen from this channel, I really love tarot and astrology and crystals and all of that. Especially as I've gotten older, I've started educating myself more, just learning more about it, understanding it more, like memorizing things, because I'm really not great at memorizing things. But I really loved learning more about astrology and the houses and, all of the aspects, and then also tarot cards and memorizing all the meanings and all of that, which is difficult for me, but it's getting better. And that's also something I've kind of been working on for a couple of years. So I would say at least tarot I'm more knowledgeable in than astrology. But I really want to get more into astrology and even reading like astrology charts and natal charts. My mom did that when I was growing up, and I looked up to her. She was like my idol. And I would love to do that stuff as well. Next step is movement. And that's something I really started doing a lot more. And not even movement in like exercise. Like I would say I love exercising. That's something that has become more of a hobby to me. I will say in the past it was not a hobby. It was more of like self-punishment. You know, I want to lose weight. I want to feel better about myself. But now it's more like I genuinely like moving. I genuinely like running. I love lifting weights. I love feeling strong. I love hiking. I love walking. I love dancing. I love doing things outside, whether it's disc golf, whether it's hiking, whether it's biking. I love doing all of it. And I will say I don't do it as much as I want to. But now that the weather is becoming nice, I'm definitely going to try to take advantage of it and do that more. Even if it's just running outside, because that's, even though I don't always want to do it, it's something that I can easily do and get outside. And also I just love feeling the sun on me. I love being outside, and so it all goes well together. But I would like to enter like more races or like 5Ks or even 10Ks. I don't know. I'm working on my long distance running, so I don't know that I'm ready for like that. But my ideal goal would be to run like a half marathon or a marathon later in life, because my dad was a huge runner. I literally, since I was a toddler, like a baby, we would be going to his races to cheer him on. There's a picture in my hallway of us as like toddlers, my dad holding us as he ran across the finish line at the Flying Pig. And so and I love running with him too, and my brother also, and my sister, like we all run. And so it's really fun. Next one is singing. I would not say that I'm, a good singer by any means, but I have found that it feels so good in my body to sing and to just sing loud. Even though I don't think of myself as a great singer, it's something that makes me feel good. It makes me feel like alive in my body. Then we have reading. Reading and writing, I would say. I love reading. It's hard for me to read. My brain goes all over the page. I come up with words that are not in. Yeah, I get really confused when I read and I get frustrated. So I probably only read a couple pages at a time, but that's better than I used to do. And so I've been reading a lot of like self-growth and like self-care books and all of that. And that's been something I've really enjoyed doing and found a passion in it, is just learning more about myself. And I've been like annotating and writing in it, which I know not everyone likes to do, but I like to do that because it helps me remember the important things, or else I don't think I'll go back and look at it because I won't know what things stuck out to me, what things were most important to me, what things I want to come back and look at. But there's definitely a couple books that I specifically love that I would like to share on here in a video in the future. Just like some of my favorite books, self-care tips, all of that. But I also love writing, and I have a hard time writing on paper because it hurts my hand. I have hypermobile wrists and hands and ankles and all of that, and so writing is really hard for me, long-term writing. I could probably write like a paragraph before my hand starts cramping up and I can't write anymore. I love coming up with stories, and like especially like it's not even the actual writing part that I like. I just love coming up with like characters, a story. I love coming up with like the details of it. And me and my sister, we played Barbies all the time when I was younger and we were younger. And I loved Barbies because I loved not even the playing part. We would play for like 5 minutes and I'd be like, I'm bored. I don't want to play anymore. Sometimes. But most of the time, my favorite part about Barbies was spending a good hour coming up with my Barbies' personalities, their storylines, their backstories, their friendships, their romantic relationships, their careers, all about them. Like, that was my shit. That was my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. I love it. And I guess that'll go to another thing. I guess that'll go into my other one, which is I love making lists and organizing. During COVID, I don't know how many of you saw this, but people were doing like themed dinners and stuff. And so I spent 5 hours coming up with like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Office. For those of you who have, the Dundee Awards. I spent 5 hours coming up with Dundee Awards and like figuring out who in my family was going to be each character from The Office. And I was Michael Scott, obviously. I was I was running the Dundies, so I was Michael Scott. And we all had to be in character, and we all had to dress up, and it was so fun, and I loved it, and that's my favorite thing to do. And so I I just love writing and coming up with stories and making lists for things. It just helps my brain too, because I feel like my brain is always so, and I can't lock anything down. And so just putting it on paper makes it so much easier for me. I also just love planning. So like planning future trips on paper, planning my life, planning career stuff. I love it. I love it. It's so fun to me. Okay. Okay. Next is like self-growth and self-development. That's something that I've lately really come to enjoy and be passionate about, whether that's researching how to improve myself and, you know, heal myself, or whether that's the reading, the self-development books, this like self-improvement books. That's just really become a passion for me, and just taking care of myself and growing to be the best version of myself, especially for me and my friends, my family, my future friends, my future partners. I want to be the best version of myself that I can. Um, and not in a negative way. Like, it's truly in a self-love way. Oh, I didn't realize I already had researching and planning on here. I just also love researching. Like, I recently have been really into like researching different like myths, lore, things like that, because I went and I saw the Mothman Museum a few weeks ago. And so yeah, I've just been into researching those things, but also just researching in general about whatever is on my mind, whatever I'm curious about. Like, I really enjoy researching and educating myself on the things that I like. It's really hard for me to do that. Like in school, it was really hard for me to do that with stuff that I did not care about. But if it's something that I like, am passionate about and interests me, I will spend hours researching and doing stuff for that and writing. Now, for the, I don't know, it's not silly. No, it's silly. It's silly. But I love it. I love computer games. I love computer games. I love playing Roblox with my sister and my friends. At my work, we're sharing our Roblox usernames, and it was on like a whiteboard for a while, and we all added each other. But I specifically like playing horror games on Roblox. Um, I also really like playing The Sims. I have been an avid Sim player since I was like 11. I started with The Sims 3. I love The Sims 3. I miss it. I know I can still play it, but I don't know. I don't know that my computer will survive, because I have a laptop that I play The Sims on. And I also download a ton of mods in CC, so I don't know how my computer is still running. I actually think my last laptop I broke because of The Sims. Yeah, so I love playing The Sims, and I think that's because I love Barbies, and I love coming up with my Sims storylines, their plot lines. I love creating them. I love making their houses. I love all of that. But lately, whenever I go to start playing The Sims, I'll do all that. I'll start playing, and then in like 10 minutes, I'll be like, I'm bored. I don't want to play this anymore. I think it's because The Sims 4 specifically, I don't like the traveling. There's a lot of aspects that I don't like about The Sims 4, especially now that I'm older. But I get bored, and I think it's too much for me to see at once. And so I get overwhelmed, and I'm like, But I also have really enjoyed playing Stardew Valley recently. My friend put me on that, and I love it. I love it so much. I think I shared that in one of my videos, that like my friend had given me a computer monitor and all of that, and then I downloaded Stardew, and I love it. I haven't played for a while, but I do need to start playing. But I also really like playing Terraria and like Minecraft. I'm trying to think of what else. I like dress up games. I feel like I already touched on this, but going outside. I just love being outside. I love feeling the sun on me. I love feeling the grass under my feet. I love it. And I'm so happy that the weather is getting nice, because while I love being outside, I don't like the winter. I feel like my personality revolves around what it's like outside. If it's bright and it's sunny and it's nice outside, I'm in a great mood. I am like on top of the world. But if it's gloomy and rainy and cold, I am more depressed and like don't feel great. I just want it to always be nice. I just need to move somewhere like California. I feel like I already touched on this, but like self-care, and kind of like self-worship. So like I really like taking showers with like candles, and just like relaxing music, or just setting up my space at night, relaxing, or just like taking care of myself. When I wash my hair, wash my body, taking extra care to like make sure that I'm like, I don't know the right word, but just being intentional with taking care of myself. Even just drinking water can be self-care. Um, but yeah, so I feel like I already kind of touched on that, so. Next up is puzzles and board games. I love puzzles and board games. Oh my gosh, I would get so sad when I was little because no one would want to play board games with me. No one in my family. Like, we would play sometimes, but there were a lot of times that I would be like, I really want to play a board game. And everyone would be like, no. My siblings would be like, no, right now, I don't really want to sit down and play a board game. But I just love board games. And then also puzzles. When I was little, we used to have so many puzzles. I think they were Disney puzzles, but there were so many of them. And me and my brother would do them all the time. And that's just kind of stuck with me. I love puzzles. I love bananagrams. I love just all games like that. But yeah, I have been trying to get back into puzzles because that's something that I have not done for many, many, many years. But I love them. I love them. I'm trying to get more and do them more. Because it's also good for my brain. I'm trying to do things that are not instant gratification, instant, like attention. Like I'm instant dopamine too. I'm trying to get away from that and teach my brain that it's okay to do things slowly. It's okay to spend a lot of time on one task or like one thing that I'm doing without having to rush through or be like, I'm bored, I'm gonna stop doing it. Like, I'm trying to push myself more to keep doing it even when I'm bored and want to stop, because that's the only way I can train my brain. I also just like stretching. I don't know why I wrote that down. I just like stretching. I really wanted to like do the splits when I was younger, do cool back bends, and now my joints are a little sore. And so I've been trying to like stretch more, especially at night. I don't do a lot of yoga, but I want to. I used to do yoga when I was younger, and I want to get back into it because I just feel like it would be good for my body and just to move. So I try to stretch every night, but I think I already said this with like movement and stuff, but I love going hiking and exploring. I love, what probably my favorite kind of place to go to do that would be places like Hocking Hills, Red River Gorge, just beautiful hiking spots with like big caves and like cool, like anywhere that makes me feel like I'm in a different state or just a different world than I am. I love it. I love hiking. I love exploring. I don't do it as much as I would like to, specifically hiking, but I would love to go on like hiking adventures, because it's just been so long. And now again that the weather is nice out, I want to so bad, but I'm also terrified of ticks, so I'm kind of afraid to go outside, because I said this in my video about cutting my hair, but I got bit by another tick a few weeks ago, and I already have Lyme's disease, and so my health has been not great. So I'm really afraid to get bit by another tick and just be outside, because I was not even in grasses or bushes, or I don't know how it got on me. But yeah, so I'm afraid of that happening again, but I think that's gonna have to be something that I work through, and teach myself that it's okay and that it's safe to be outside and that ticks are not everywhere. I just might need to be a little extra careful. And then I would say my last kind of hobby would be recording, and like filming videos, even though there's so many that I haven't posted, especially when I was younger. I have literally been filming YouTube videos since 6th grade. My first channel was like a beauty channel. I remember I did a ColourPop haul, and I I was like, I'm a YouTuber. I'm a beauty YouTuber. But then I got embarrassed and deleted the videos because I was afraid of people at school seeing them and making fun of me. And then and then when I was like 17 or 18, I had another YouTube channel that I posted about 3 videos on. Just, I think the first one was my coming out story, and then the issue with toxic feminism, and then like my career goals. And then I got embarrassed again about people seeing them that I knew in real life and deleted them. And then in like 2021, I had another channel. Actually, these were all the same channel. I just would like delete the videos. And then in like 2020, I had a YouTube channel where I was posting like tarot videos, things about like witchy things, crystals, like all of that. And then I got embarrassed and deleted them. And then a couple months ago, I started it again. And so it's always been something that I have loved doing. I just would get embarrassed and delete them. But I have, oh God, my storage and my phone is so full because I have so many videos of me recording, just talking to myself and not doing anything with them. So I would say that I really do enjoy recording, and so I'm trying to do that more now, as you can see. Now we're gonna get into the hobbies that I want to try. Okay, also, I kind of want to apologize if it feels like I'm rushing through them. I don't really know how to I don't know how to like pause after one thing and then start the other without it being weird, because most of the time I'm talking and like my train of thought is trailing on until it just stops, and then I'm like, next thing. And so I'm sorry if it's a little like rushed between the different hobbies. Now for the hobbies that I do want to try, I really want to try rock climbing. That is something I kind of did in the past. Not really like at the Y, on like, you know, the little wall. There's a picture in the newspaper of me when I was little climbing to the top of the like rock climbing tower and ringing the bell, and I thought I was so cool. I thought I was so cool being in the newspaper. Like my aunt got it framed and everything. I don't know where it is. I think it's somewhere in my closet actually. But yeah. Now that my dad and we got Y passes again, and so that is something that I have not started yet, but my dad has there. He started rock climbing. And so that's something that I really want to start soon, because I feel like it's like another form of movement that's fun. And also just because I think it would be kind of fun to actually like rock climb in nature, but in a safe way, because I saw the Fall movie. I research like accidents and stuff, so like all the rock climbing accidents I've seen are scary, but I would do it in a safe way and make sure that I know what I'm doing. But also when I was in Colorado, there were people climbing up like huge mountains, and it was so cool to see, but so scary because I was like, oh my God, if they fall. And the people who do it without any like free climbing, props to you, but I will not be doing that. But I do want to try rock climbing, like in a harness and all of that. The next thing is dancing. I know I already said that up with like movement, but I would love to start taking dance classes. I took dance classes for like 12 plus years when I was a kid. I honestly danced from when I was, I did ballet when I was like a toddler. So from when I was a toddler to 18, I danced. There were a few breaks in there, but I did finish out my last few years, till probably from like 16 to 18. I was dancing competitively, which is not something I did in the past. I was just dancing recreationally. But then my dance teacher stopped teaching when I was like 13, I think. And so from 13 to 16, I wasn't really doing like dance classes, but I still like dancing. I think when I was 16, I started doing recreational classes at a new studio that my sister danced at. And then I think till I was 17, and then for like 2 seasons from 17 to 18, I was doing competitive with my sister, which was so fun. But I would love to get back into that. Even if it's not competitive dancing, I really want to just try like different forms of dancing. Yeah, because I love it, and I want to do more than just like dancing in my room or my basement. but I also cannot afford it right now. So that is definitely a future thing, but that's something I would love to do. Um, Also aerial silks. Aerial silks is something I've always wanted to do. My mom actually signed me and my sister up for like little classes at like this yoga studio that we went to. But we didn't do it for very long. I think my sister did it a little bit longer than I did. I feel like that would be so cool to be able to do that. Just movement, more fun movement. And then I also have yoga on here. I didn't realize I had wrote yoga down below with the hobbies that I wanted to try. I definitely want to get more into yoga and doing that like more frequently, and also just finding a yoga teacher, because I feel like that's something I struggle with. I need structure. I do best learning new things like yoga, aerial silks, anything like that when I have a teacher, because I tend to just not do it. Or I don't know what to do. I get overwhelmed trying to figure out what to do. I get frustrated, and then I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. But yeah, I'm working on that. Something else that I would love to do that I had an opportunity to years ago, but that's tattooing. I just always thought it would be so cool to be a tattoo artist. I have several tattoos. I love tattoos. I just That's something I always thought would be so cool to have as a career. I also babysat for a family, and their dad is a tattoo artist, and I got really, really close to them. I'm still close with them. Life is busy. But the dad is a tattoo artist, and he's done like all my tattoos, and I love them so much, and I'm again super close with them. And so I definitely have that definitely fueled my passion for tattooing. But then he actually offered me an apprenticeship. And I unfortunately said no, because I was thinking I was going to go to school for nursing. I wanted to be a pediatric nurse. I also just don't draw a lot. That was something that I started to try to do more. And that's also something that I'm trying to start again, is drawing. It's just really hard for me to come up with like ideas in my head. I have to draw off of, what's it called? I have to draw off of a reference. I have a really hard time coming up with ideas to draw in my head, and like seeing things in my head. And so it's kind of frustrating for me to draw. And I also have shaky hands, but I know that that's something that, you can learn to adapt with. And so that's why I'm trying to start doing it more. I don't have a tattoo gun or anything, but just like, start drawing more, and like drawing different like tattoo templates and like stencils and all of that. I don't know, maybe someday in the future I'll do tattoos. I don't know. Photography is something that I have wanted to do for so long. I think the first time I really was like, I want to like do photography and get like a professional camera was when I went to Colorado, and I was like, this is so beautiful up here. And I think there was a man up there, like professionally taking pictures of like the wildlife, just like the nature, all of that. And progressively, like since then, I've just been like, I want to like passively like saving things about photography, like poses, lighting stuff. But I got a digital camera, and it's not good. I got it off TikTok Shop. The quality's not great. But I figured with that, I can kind of start taking more pictures of like people, or just like in a more photography sense than just on my phone, and like selfies and all of that. So photography is definitely something that I want to do more of. So I'm hoping to I'm so sorry, my dogs are barking. But I just think it would be so fun to get into photography more professionally, specifically like wedding photography, newborn photography, and like maternity photography. I feel like would be so fun to do. Yeah, that's something I really do want to start doing. Even if it's just like a little like side income thing, but I'm not great at it, and I need to learn more about it. And then I guess the last thing I want to get into is baking. I don't bake a lot. My sister is definitely like more of the baker in the family, but I enjoy baking. My family and I, we have a lot of like food sensitivities, especially with our health issues that I've since resolved. Some of them have, but for a while we could not eat, you know, dairy, gluten, soy, corn, and so we were eating all these like nasty gluten-free, like nasty allergen-free foods because this was like 2015 or something like that. There were not there were not good options around when it came to like allergen-free food. It was nasty stuff, like cardboard tasting stuff. But we went to Oregon for my aunt and uncle's wedding, and they had like, we went to a food truck like area, and they had one that had all of this allergen friendly food and desserts that were they were so good, and it was like the best thing ever. Like, we were on top of the world. Like, it was amazing. And then when we came back here, you know, it was a nasty food again. But one of my dreams would be to open like a little like bakery or like cafe or like food truck or even just like a micro like stand of like allergen-free foods and desserts and drinks and stuff, because I know what it felt like to feel like I really want this, but I can't have it, you know? And working at Dunkin' Donuts, I have a lot of families come in and children come in being like, do you have anything gluten-free? Do you have anything dairy-free, like dessert-wise, like donut, anything like that? And we don't. And so I hate telling them, I'm sorry, like we don't have anything gluten-free. I hate it because I know what it feels like to be that kid that's so excited that maybe they could have something and then be told, no, like, I'm sorry, there's nothing here that you can have. Like, it sucks. It sucks. I feel like you don't get it unless you've been in that position. And so I want to be able to be that person that does have things that they can have. Like, be able to be the reason that these people and these children are excited to be able to eat things, eat food that they can actually eat safely and feel good about, that taste amazing. And so I would love to do that. I would love to do that because I know how magical it was for us in Oregon to find that food truck. And so yeah, I want to be the reason that, you know, or help be the reason that, you know, a kid is happy. Like, yeah. And also just so that they don't feel alienated. I know I did. Like, going places with my friends or at school, I had to have my own lunch made. Every morning I would go down, and I'm very grateful for my school for doing this, for making me feel included, because my brother and I were homeschooled from like fourth to sixth grade. And so we went back in sixth grade, and I had a lot of my food sensitivities, and I wanted to eat lunch with my friends. I wanted to buy lunch. I wanted to feel like a normal kid, like now that I was older and back in school, and I couldn't because I couldn't eat anything that they were serving. And so my mom talked to the school, and every morning that I wanted to buy lunch, I would go down there, pick out what I wanted, and they would make it for me in the back, and I would give it to me, and I would pay for it. And even though it was a little bit different, I still felt included. I still felt like I was a regular sixth grader. Yeah. So, I don't know. I just wanted to share that. But anyway, finding your hobbies is hard in your 20s, but it also can be very rewarding. Very rewarding and fun once you do. And you have like a set of hobbies that you can be like, oh yeah, I love doing this. I love doing this. I love doing this. Like, it also just, I know for me, sometimes after work, I don't feel like doing anything. But there's some easy hobbies on here that make me feel more like after work, like I'm still myself. I'm still doing things that matter to me. I'm still doing things that make me happy. And it's not just the same thing every day, like work, sleep. Like, yeah. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that it wasn't too jumbled. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you, and for all the support and the kind comments. Yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye bye.